morning or afternoon, and welcome to the Lyric Professors. I am Professor A, and joined as ever by Professor Dogger, as above, so below. And on the other side of the world, the Beatles. How are the Beatles today, Professor J?
I'm just playing my full-size guitar. Oh no, it's a joke. It's a tiny, tiny little guitar.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's just showing something that may or may not appear in our future.
It may or may not.
No.
Yes.
Actually, it's not a guitar. It's a watch case.
Oh, right.
I found it somewhere.
Beatles watch, eh?
This watch, made in commemoration of the legendary rock and roll band The Beatles and their great contribution to the music world. This watch will keep the memory alive as time goes by.
Oh.
Beatles TM products, copyright Apple Core Limited TM.
Fully official, then. Yeah.
Totally official.
Excellent. Them Beatles. Good. It's nice noise. Oh, we could play that on a song. Excellent. Yeah. Anyway, aside from the squeaky guitar box, which isn't a guitar box, we today are completely rounding off season 2, which has been going. I've spelt season wrong, haven't I, on this graphic? That's not very good. Just notice that. Okay, or just pretend we're doing season 2 rather than season 2. We are rounding this up just to see if we've drawn any conclusions from what we have discussed throughout the century this season's been going on.
Season and desist.
Yes. Oh, very good. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, Professor J, what have you learned?
I've been fascinated looking at the numbers, actually, and looking at the number of unique words that are required for a song. And this is it's kind of struck a chord, because I know you're not so hot on the premise of this, that the lyrics don't matter for a song. I've been listening to Kid A by the Radioheads. Have you heard of this?
I've heard. I believe I own said CD, although I don't think I've listened to it more than once.
Okay. And what does Professor Sir think of Radiohead's Kid A?
I don't remember which songs are on it, to be honest, compared to other albums, so I couldn't. It was the one when they went full mental, though, wasn't it? To be fair,
it was their first foray into synthesizer-y music. Yes. So the reason I bring that up is that at that time they were eschewing normal such a thing exists, music making, or their previous music making practices, and they went pretty much full synthesizers, so pretty much zero guitars. But also in terms of the lyrics, and again, this was an album that when it was released had a pretty bad review, because it was so different to anything that they'd ever made before. It was just like, people treated it like a punch in the face, because it was so completely different. People hated it, and people hated the lyrics.
Right.
And
were they very different to previous lyrics as well?
Absolutely, and partly because of the method that they were using, or Tom York was using to write the lyrics, which was basically taking some stuff, randomly chopping it up, and sticking them back together. So it was
completely David Bowie for a while.
Indeed. But I think when David Bowie was doing it, he was kind of mixing it up to try and make something useful, whereas Tom York was just mixing it up to make something weird. That's kind of my perception of it. So I found that interesting, thinking about what we're doing here. But what I found really interesting was looking at the number of unique words, and sort of heading back to the Ben Folds paradigm, that you need somewhere around 50 unique words to make a song, which isn't very many, right? You don't need to have brilliant lyrics to make a song, but I think if you've got crappy lyrics, it can ruin a song. I think that's kind of where I feel in it.
But it depends what approach you're taking to that. When you say a good song, are you talking about a commercially successful song, or a song that is liked by people who are already fans of the band, or something that will win new fans? Or
what is a good song? What is a
is it one that pleases the lyricist?
Pleasurizes the
masses.
Yeah. I don't know what makes a good song. What would you say defines a good song? Is it pleasuring the artist, pleasuring the recipient,
I think it should be pleasuring the recipient.
commercially successful?
I mean, you can't, because some people are just not commercially viable, like us for a start. Because you have to dance through the hoops of personal appearances and all that kind of stuff, pandering to the camera, which we absolutely do not do.
We refuse to do
We do.
such a
In
thing.
case anyone is interested, I've corrected the title at the top, by the way.
Magic.
Yeah, how about that? Didn't even move. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously, it has to be. I mean, beauty is in the eye of the beholder and all that. Boulder. I meant to say beholder, but I think it came out as boulder. I don't know why that happened.
The beer holder.
Yes, that could be it. Yes. So I think the main thing would be what's pleasing to the listener, but also anyone who writes a song wants to get some satisfaction out of it themselves.
So, what do we have here in this picture? Is this a tamandua?
No, it's a binturong.
A binturong.
It's a stretched binturong. It's
It
not
is
in
a
the
bit-
right aspect ratio. But
It is a bit fatty fat, but
yes.
So, what does he get out of the music? What makes a successful song for Professor Binturong?
Is this a song that Professor Binturong has written, or is just hearing from someone else?
Bit of both.
Professor Dogger is chewing her leg off in boredom. She's just paused now. She's so bored. Oh, right, now she's eating her. Dogger, stop it. Yeah, go onto your ear instead. Much better. Anyway, sorry. Professor Binturong, he would like a song which appeals to his taste. And if he is also a songwriter, would he then like songs which are similar to songs he writes? Because he is a songwriter. Obviously, he's sitting there with an acoustic guitar. He's a singer-songwriter.
Absolutely is. What song would a Binturong write?
Something about whiskers.
Whiskers and tails and trees. Yeah.
Oh, Dogger, what are you up to?
Dogger's loving. What sort of song would Professor Dogger write?
I don't know
Professor Dogger.
I don't know what she'd write. Professor Dogger is a big Blue Oyster Cult fan, though. I'll tell you that much. Have you ever noticed that pets are prescribed the taste of their owners? My mother's dog is definitely a classical music fan, because she is. Doesn't have any choice in the matter. And Professor Dogger is a Blue Oyster Cult fan. So, yeah. I don't know what the question was. I'm lost. What kind of song would she write? It'd be one which says, "I'm the biggest dog in the yard." It'd basically be gangster rap, I think.
Dogster rap.
Dogster rap, yes. That's right.
Dogging rap. I know.
Something else, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to what because again with music, with a lot of self-publishing these days, there's a lot more music out there now than there used to be before, and I think a lot of people are expecting to have some sort of epic commercial success out of it, but it's unrealistic.
It's not going to happen for most people.
For everybody except for Taylor Swift. So what do people get out of writing music? Is it just a kind of artistic release?
Yes, some kind of catharsis of the soul, I would say.
Yeah.
But then that doesn't really work if you're writing the Venga Bus by the Venga Boys or something. I don't think they're letting out any deep-seated angst and
which is an absolute banger.
It is, to be fair.
And the first time I heard people say Ibiza.
Yes. I don't think that. No, it's not actually. Oh, go away! Stop showing the rubbish at the end. That's not the first time I've heard that, because everyone said Ibiza when I was growing up. Then it suddenly dawned around the teenage that it was Ibiza. Okay. I do apologise for my cough.
Your cough. It's number 4. It can walk off. Yeah. So our first artist of this season was Sam Fender.
Yes, that is right.
What does he get out of music? Because his was very personal.
Yeah. And
Very
also it
introspective.
caused him a lot of stress, and he had to take time off for his mental health.
Indeed, he did.
But whether that was, well, it probably wasn't the process of songwriting. It's probably the endless touring and stuff.
And if he hadn't written those songs, would he have had this spiritual release that we've been talking about?
Who can tell? Oh, I think everyone's an individual. We can't really generalize on all songwriters.
Yes, we're all individuals.
Yes, just like me. Yeah. I don't know. He's meant to have a new album soon. It's apparently very dancey.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, don't know about
switched it up.
that. Yeah,
So
but yeah, as you say, his songs are very, very personal, but they're not necessarily authentically personal. We decided, like the song "The Borders," where someone gets lost in a pub.
yeah,
I'm pretty sure that didn't happen the way he said it. And his songs seem to disagree with each other on some
they do.
autobiographical points.
They do. But it's that artistic license. So,
Yeah, sure.
and again, looking at his numbers, 106.8 was his average word count.
Unique,
Um,
presumably.
unique word count. Yes, thank you. Total 230. But he managed to make them very personal. I thought they were quite moving. What's the banger? Hypersonic Missiles. That's the one that I hear occasionally.
17 Going Under, I'd say, was the
Okay.
most popular one. But yeah, I mean, it helps that his songs are very good musically because he's a fantastic musician. Those who are more limited in musicality, such as myself, um, find it hard to write songs because we can't just sit down and play something awesome and then hum something along with it. Um, you obviously can, which is helpful. There's a tail
But
behind me.
but he you did. Is it yours?
Could be, yeah, who knows?
But if you look at the number of songs he's had out, right? So he's been going. Let's say he's been going 10 years. He's
Oh,
had
it's
what?
not that long. Not that long, is it? I think
Let's,
he's had two albums, and a
two
couple of
albums.
EPs.
2 albums. So like 10. Let's say he's had 25 songs.
Yeah,
So that moment of inspiration that's been good enough to put on a record, and he will have songwriting help from his label, and a lot of songs are sort of ghost written these days. So it's only really happened that 25 times, right? Out of
mm,
however how many. And like we said, he started playing pubs when he was young, right?
I think
His
so.
dad was a singer, right? Or something like that.
I
Or
believe so. I don't have any notes for this. This is completely off the cuff.
I believe we discussed that his father was a sort of pub singer. That's how he
Yes.
got into it. And he played his first gig in a pub at the age of like 13 or 14, something like that. So in all that time, if he's like 30 odd now, and those 16 years, and he's made these 25 bangers,
Mm.
the inspiration hasn't hit that hard, and he hasn't written that many words. It's interesting, the two that you pulled out, Hypersonic Missiles and 17 Going Under, by far the highest number of words out of all
Right.
the,
The ones we do.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But I would guess he's written a lot more songs that have yet to be released.
Or that didn't make the cut. It weren't good
Well,
enough.
that's what B-sides were for. Does people remember B-sides? Wow.
Not anymore.
I used to love these from bands that I was
Yeah.
really into. B-sides were the sort of holy grail. If you could find a rare B-side on a single somewhere.
Like that I mentioned the other day, I bought the Cult Electric
Yes.
long play on vinyl, and it came with a second disc, which had some sort of B-sidey type versions of other songs.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah. So Sam Fender, let's sum up Sam Fender. He's within the what we see, so 106 words, unique words, very personal writing style, and
Mm.
very. Each one was like a story, right? There was nothing created. It was more like this sort of thing happened in the pub. Somebody did a bad thing.
Yeah.
Somebody got glassed or something like that, and he made a story about it. Or somebody's
Yeah.
in a fighting at the bus stop. Was that one of his?
No, that was Eels.
That was Eels. All right.
What's the-
Yeah.
yeah, and there was the song Mantra, which wasn't like that, which we covered. But that was basically sort of some lyrics tacked onto an epic guitar solo.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Dogger?
It's got it going on.
The Dogger dance. They'll all be doing it down the disco later.
Yeah, well, that's an episode of Flight of the Conchords, the doggy dance, when they release the doggy dance, and then they're following up with the release of the doggy stomp, and then they realise that it's copies of something that was released 20 years earlier. Okay, so that was Samuel Fender. Should we do the main characters and then come to the add-ons?
Yeah,
the add-ons as well. Next, we chose undoubtedly the greatest lyricist of all time.
Of course,
the Smiths.
Oh no, I don't think we did we? I think chronologically, I think we did Paramore next.
Okay.
Which is why I was quite impressed by your greatest lyricist of all time.
Oh yeah, well, on my list it's the Smiths, which is out of order. So let's do the Smiths next. Yeah, surprisingly few words. 93.7 unique words on it.
But there was at least one, which was one verse, the sad one.
Yeah, Last Night I Dreamt.
Yeah,
36 words.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, he's obviously a very different type of lyricist, although still autobiographical to some extent. This is a Stephen Patrick Dogger. You need that leg. Don't chew it off.
Stephen Patrick Dogger. That is indeed his name.
I said Dogger, not Bugger.
I said Dogger.
Oh, right. Yes, good. Yeah, so what were we saying? Yes, so yes, allegedly autobiographical again. Like his one about the headmaster.
Yeah,
may not be true. Who knows?
Yeah.
And his one about
Panic, Jimmy Savile.
Yeah. I don't know if that counts as autobiographical. And he's this charming man about being picked up by a bloke in a Jag. I think we decided.
Or not.
Or not. Yes. Stop it. Right. Yes. So what will we say? Yes. You think he's a great lyricist? I disagree. Was it Whale Blubber Wild? I'm not keen on that song.
Whale Blubber Wild is on mine.
Yes.
Wild Oh Wild is on mine. I will continue to sing that.
According to the member of the Smiths.
Well, you know.
Yeah. So they're less unique wordy, the Smiths.
Yeah.
But obviously they had a great effect on a young Professor J.
They did.
Their lyrics.
They did. Yeah. Just thought they were very inventive and really different to everything else, which was, I was listening to, which was the Cult. Ooh, yeah, baby, baby.
Yeah, I certainly didn't pay any attention to their lyrics. I saw him on Top of the Pops with some gladioli or whatever it was in his pocket. But I didn't really know any of their songs until probably when I was at university.
I mean, I will say, and I probably said this during the shows, that I actually prefer Morris's solo work to the Smiths, controversially. But that's because first album that I listened, I kind of missed the Smiths. I got in as Morris's first album or second album was coming out, sort of like the 1990-ish. And as we know, the Smiths were together for 4 years, 83 to 87, something like that.
Yeah.
So I kind of got in like 1990, 91, when Bono Drag and those sort of things was out, and I was really into them.
Yeah, I liked the Last of the Famous International Playboy song when it came out.
Yeah.
But Morrissey is such a reprehensible fellow. I couldn't listen to any of his stuff anymore, I don't think.
No, it's difficult listening. Okay.
But did you learn anything about songwriting from Stephen Patrick?
So from Stephen Patrick Morrissey, there were a lot of artistic references. So very different style. It's personal, but kind of, people say it's depressing. I don't find it depressing. I find it like a sardonic, sarcastic humor. with lots of literary references.
Yes.
Either to well-known authors, Wilde, that sort of thing, very Wildian, or just referencing a lot of sort of 50s, 60s movies, that type of thing.
True.
So,
allusions can certainly build a bond with the listener if they share that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That experience or knowledge.
Yeah. I liked his sense of humor. I like that there's songs and their sense of humor and double meanings, which you do not get out of Sam Fender. You don't get literary references, sense of humor, or double meanings.
True.
It's pretty much straight as an arrow, right?
It's a different approach. So what would you say Morrissey's motivation was for writing these lyrics? I would say he was showing off.
Very, very likely, yeah. Because he's that kind of...
Just trying to show off how intelligent he was with his reading and stuff.
Yeah.
Damn him.
Well, I mean, they say that in Cemetery Gates, right?
Yeah.
You say la da 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 and quote.
Yeah.
You quote these words as your own. I've read more and I know more.
Yeah, it's a song which condemns plagiarism and plagiarizes.
Exactly. That's the sarcastic humor.
Yes. or being completely self-unaware, one or the other.
Yeah.
Hello, Dogger.
There we go. Okay. After that, on my list, maybe not correct order, but we had that there Poppy.
That Poppy, yes. I'm a massive fan of. I have just been listening over the last couple of days to her new album, Negative Spaces, which is an absolute banger if you're into scream metal, especially. But there are some more melodic tracks on it as well, and I think it's really good.
And what did you learn from scrutinizing Poppy's lyrics?
She throws in the odd word you're just not expecting, like oppositionist. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, she invented a couple of words in one song, didn't she?
She's good. Oh, she or whoever writes the lyrics. I believe she writes most of her lyrics, but not the music. I could be wrong. I know she wrote the entirety of the song "Her" from the album Flux, which we covered. That was meant to be the first one she'd written, which wasn't a collaboration on her fourth album or something. So, yeah, I think the lyrics from the new album are probably on a higher level than the ones we covered, except Stagger. There's some. Oh God, what are you eating, doggo? Make yourself sick. Oh, it's a chunk off your bone. That's not very good. Yeah. I don't know. They're snappy lyrics. They're again very personal, and they're also the ones we covered. Certainly were slagging off her previous partners.
Yeah.
To be fair, it sounds like they deserve to be slagged off, possibly more, imprisoned perhaps. Yeah, but then that's sort of. I mean, that's the sort of subverting the pop genre. All pop songs are about love and that kind of thing these days, and they always have been. Except, I mean, even the Beatles started off with "I want to hold your hand, love, love me do."
Oh, indeed, they did.
Before realizing they were actually cleverer than that, could write about other things.
I mean, they're short Poppy songs.
Most of them. There's a couple of 6-minuters. Yeah. Not the
yeah, so I meant lyrically. So an average unique 72 and a half. I thought they were good. They didn't really do much for me, the lyrics. Poppy lyrics.
I think Stagger's great lyrically.
Yeah.
We gave that.
Yeah, there were a couple that stood out.
Gave that a 7.5 or something. Yeah.
Stagger got 7. But it's quite highly rated in the new numbering system that we talked about and that I've just implemented, which is the PALS per unique word.
Right.
PALS score per unique word times by 100, because otherwise it's too small. So she got an 8.6, which is pretty high.
That's pretty good, yeah.
Pretty high. Although, of course, that is screwed up a bit by Napalm Death's You Suffer.
Yeah, true.
Which has got 12 and a half.
It's an absolute lyrical banger. Yeah. What did Stephen Patrick get?
I mean, this is an interesting score. So, on average, Stephen Patrick Morrissey got an average of 6.5 on that score. But the short song we previously mentioned is the current highest ranked score in terms of house score per unique word, with a 15.3, which is amazing. In contrast, that Poppy, on average, is about the same, 5.7.
I thought you just said 8.6.
No, one song Stagger
Oh, right.
is 8.6, but globally, so yeah. Forbidden Attraction by Corey Feldman, minus 2.6.
That sounds very generous to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's an interesting metric.
Then next on my list is the Paramours, which introduce us to the Paramour-a-dime.
Yes.
Paramore paradigm, which is that all songs should have 100 unique words. And unfortunately, the last song ruined that.
Right. I can't remember
And
which song.
it went down to 98.9.
Oh,
words.
dear. That's terrible. But yeah, it does
Um,
definitely seem that they have a scheme for it, just like Ben Folds does. I still am
Yeah.
not really aware of why we're making Ben Folds the industry standard for music.
Because he's the one that I know who's spoken about it. If you know someone else who's spoken about it, please
No, I don't.
please comment below.
Something to look up for season 3. Oh God, season 3. Yes.
So we chose Paramore because I really like the new stuff.
Yeah.
This is why I'm running out of time. I really like that kind of blunt. I find it amusing, the bluntness.
It's confessional monologues.
and brutal, and like, you know, she said that, you know, again, she's had some mental health issues as well. And you know, if you've got an opinion, maybe you can shove it, which I think is extremely amusing. And then I like some of their early stuff. I can't remember which one I like.
Crush.
That one, yeah. I mean, we did score 1-0.
Yeah.
Still Into You is the only 0 on the list, I believe.
Well, there's some negatives though, aren't there?
There's, I think, 2 negatives.
Well, they both
Steven Seagal. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So Paramore scores 1.8 on average out of the unique words, PAL score per unique words, and a 1.7 in terms of the average PAL score, which I found surprisingly low.
Yeah, we kind of went in on a bit. But I stand by it.
And I think that kind of reinforces your point that the lyrics don't need to be good in our definition of the word good, whatever that may be.
To have commercial success, yes, you've just got to have the right look and be prepared to destroy your mental health for the benefit of a record company.
Yeah, indeed. Indeed. And after that, we did Eels.
Yes. Again, short, I would suggest. Not many words in total, really, for most of them.
Not well, surprisingly more. 89 on average, which is more than Poppy.
Yeah.
It's more than nobody else. But not that many words, you're right. You know, you kind of expect them to be loquacious, garrulous, but not really.
Yeah, he's a very clever chap, and you'd think he'd like to do a Morrissey and show off more, but thankfully he doesn't.
And then again, if we look at his PALs to unique ratio, average is only 4, so quite low there. So he's not been succinct with his cleverness.
Yeah.
Mr. E.
Or our scores are just arbitrary, one or the other. Yes. Right. Well, I think I would say that from him, I'd take the pacing of words to music.
Hmm,
Fit beautifully to the music. And the music's
I
fairly
do.
simple in most of his songs.
It is, yeah.
When you say the lyrics, I mean, I like birds. What a great song. It is. It's a fantastic song. And it's not clever. It's not lots of brilliant words. It's great.
62 unique words.
It's about liking birds,
Oh,
which is nice.
and why not? Yes, after Mr. E, we went on to Mr. JM, Mr. Jim Morrison, and his work with the Doors.
His backing band.
The Electric Poet, the
Mm.
original, the first proper poet writing music. Maybe the only one. Of course, he was
Patti Smith.
again, again surprisingly short, only 79 words on average.
That is
I
surprising.
was shocked by. I mean, there are some surprisingly short ones. Break On Through, even if it's the long version is 10 minutes long, so 64 words.
Repeats them quite a lot there.
People Are Strange, only 31 words.
Really?
Yeah. And then, of course, we had Horse Latitudes.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, that you did put in a couple of sort of interstitial tracks, which is going to.
What did, but they, Severed Guarded, Ghost Song, Horse Latitudes, they were all of an average length,
Yeah.
Severed Garden's 130, so I can't say that really skewed it. But yeah, so an average PALS of 4.4, average length 79. So compared to the previous artists, I don't think these are autobiographical.
And his Soul Kitchen one was meant to be autobiographical.
Well, it was inspired by an event, right? Is that the one? Cars drive past all full of eyes.
I think so. Yes.
Yeah. Let me sleep all night in your soul kitchen. But yeah, very, very poetic, these ones. Crystal Ship. Before you slip into unconsciousness, I'd like to take another sip.
Yes.
But really very different to
Well,
everything else.
as I stated during the episodes, I think he invented Gothic rock.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
of course, he single-handedly invented Ian Astbury.
He did. He's the mother and the father of Ian Astbury.
Yes. And the spirit guide too, no doubt.
Yeah, the lizard. The snake is long, 7 miles. All that jazz. So that was more kind of, I would say, abstract, drug-infused poetry.
Well,
So,
yeah.
So let's go through that again. Your Fender, autobiographical songs about a chap's hard life. Yeah. Them Smiths, autobiographical but sarcastic and pretentious. Poppy, I don't know how to describe Poppy lyrics. Sort of angry.
Yeah, a lot of them are. Post-genre is the description that gets applied to her these days, which is very meta.
Okay. Paramore, well, we talked about the 3 ages of Paramore, the sort of teenage girl stuff to the sort of current
Talking Heads tribute band.
Yeah. Eels, I've no idea how to put this. Weird stuff, right?
Well, it's again very autobiographical about the sad deaths in the family and all that.
Yes, indeed. Bus Stop Boxer, as we've just said.
Yeah, I don't think that one was meant to be particularly autobiographical, but the others were.
And then the Doors, drug-addled poet.
Yeah.
And died young. And that was it, except for all the little bonusy ones.
That's it? I thought we did 3 each.
I've got Nick Cave's system. No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
There are lots of.
It's all blurred into one for me, I'm afraid.
You'll be pleased to hear that Ren's unique PAL score now, the new scoring system, has gone down to 1.4 due to the
hell of a lot of words.
Yeah, due to there being lots and lots of words.
Yeah, that's probably going to cause. If we had any viewers, that would cause some controversy, probably. These scores, these are the real, true scores, people. This is how music should be rated.
Absolutely.
We rediscovered these, lost in the midst of time.
Lana Del Rey hangs on to her score pretty well. She still comes out with an average of 3.9, despite having
lots of words.
Lots of words. Like Nicky Cave. 4.6.
Something he hasn't won then. I also listened, finally got around to listening to his new album over the last couple of days. It's an album. No, it's not like that. There's some great songs on it that in isolation I would love. But listening to the whole album in one go as I was driving yesterday, it's just, I felt sort of battered by it. It's so over orchestrated. Every song has every instrument in the world on it, and gospel choirs, and it's just so I can listen to it and enjoy any of the songs in isolation, but altogether it's just too much for me. And I've previously been listening to blood curdling screams for the last 2 days. So I don't know. Wild God, the title track, is an absolute banger.
Told you that some friends went to see them.
Yes, and I was going to say, tying into that, Wild God mentions the girl from Jubilee Street in the lyrics.
Oh, really? Oh, what's happened? Where is she now?
I think she died in a bed sit in 1990 or something. It's not happy ending.
So the Jubilee Street was played live in concerts a few weeks ago.
Oh, I'm sure
Portugal.
It's his live high point. So.
All right, 3-hour concert.
But he's not a young man, is he?
I'm going to need to take a wee break.
Oh, okay.
Doing that. No. If I'm in a 3-hour concert.
Right.
Yeah. Because I was thinking of that when I went to watch The Darkness. I sort of battled to get like a great spot, and also actually when I went to see the Cult, got to the front, and then I wasn't going to move again because there was no way I'd get back to the front again if I needed a drink or a wee. Well, I wasn't getting a drink, and if I was going for a wee, then somebody was getting wet.
Nice.
Which kind of stopped me wanting to have a drink beforehand. Same with The Darkness.
Yes. Presumably they weren't playing 3 hours.
It was a long show, The Darkness. They had an encore. They came back on in dressing gowns. And Justin did an extended solo.
Yeah, right.
On a solo, like a solo playing on his own.
Cool, sidey signs. Aren't there 5 of them?
No. There's Justin, Dan,
drums and bass.
The bass player, who's Frankie, whose autobiography, jokey autobiography I have.
Excellent.
And the drum player. Do you remember? I told you who the drum player, the drummer is now. Do you remember?
The drummist. No, I don't remember that at all. Who is it?
It's Roger Taylor's son.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, which Roger Taylor?
The Queen guy.
Right, not the Duran Duran guy.
He'd be too young, right? I'm going to fact check. You talk amongst yourselves for a while.
I'm sure it is the Queen guy, but yeah. I didn't know he had a son who played drums. It's interesting. I mean, obviously, Justin Hawkins is very inspired by Queen, I would say, from his guitar playing and falsetto. Yes.
They've got a new album coming out in January, I believe.
Interesting.
Rufus Tiger Taylor. He's a really good drummer. Really, really good drummer. He's the son of Queen drummer Roger Taylor.
Excellent. Yeah, if to be a proper rock star, you've got to have a kid with a stupid name.
Rufus's middle name, Tiger, was chosen by Queen lead singer Freddie Mercury.
Easy, Tiger. Yes.
Yeah. So that was.
It appears to have taken a bit of a detour from our discussion on lyrics.
We have. So what would you do differently after this series? Professor A, what have you learned? What would you do differently with your lyrics?
With my lyrics, I don't write any, to be honest, but I should do, and I mean to. I don't think my lyrics are terrible, to be honest. I mean, I'm still a bit annoyed that you said that our lyrics are bad. This is why we're doing this.
I don't think I didn't say that. I said that we were looking for inspiration. We were wondering how to get in. We were looking for a spark of inspiration, I suppose.
Yeah, I think my lyric. Have you actually done a unique lyric count on something like "Last Waltz in the Library of the Templars"? Because I think I'm pushing Ren. Maybe something I should take away from this is to cut down on my loquacity.
Garrulous and loquacious. You hippopoto monstro sesquipedalian.
Oh, blimey. It's always good to eschew obfuscatory verbiage, I find.
Jazz.
Yeah. Yes. Well, obviously, what you can take away is that there is no one successful path to lyricalism.
Clearly, because we've got several very distinct paths here. So we have your Fender, personal lads on the town. You've got your Smiths, your pretentious poet with gay references and movie stuff. Poppy, I'm angry at somebody or something for some good reason. Paramore, teen, teen, teen. And now, ooh, it's funny. Eels, no idea. Doors, drug-addled poetry.
Yeah, and they're all, in their own way, commercially very successful.
Indeed, they are. So we won't be talking about them.
Yeah.
One thing about them is that they all have a kind of similar style. Say that?
Not really. Well, I don't think that the Smiths are similar to.
Sorry, within themselves.
Oh, right.
All the Smith songs. If you wind up a Smith's lyric, a Fender lyric, Paramore lyric, it would be obvious.
Yeah.
Which is which.
True. And that isn't something we could ever say about our lyrics, because we a touch of the poppies. We're different genres for each song we do, basically. Yeah. We really do need to. In fact, we're going to upload some of our music to our sister channel, Wildest, because we keep talking about these songs we've allegedly written, and people have no idea if we have or not. I mean, there's one song up there which is an old version,
and lyricless.
It's not lyricless.
Is it not?
No. The first part has lyrics. Oh. They're not sung very well. But it does.
What are those lyrics?
Killing kindness on the interstate, the perfect tool for the quiet professionals. And I can't remember the rest of which order they come in, really, because I wrote it about 20 years ago now.
Falter is, of course, one of the greatest songs ever written.
It is, but I don't know that we've got a version we can put up, because it's the version recorded with the cello is great, but it was recorded in the Shed of Doom, and
shoes are dry. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think
the other version's really good. It's the original version.
Is it? I thought it was terrible quality again. Lots of hissing. Because this was recorded with zero equipment back in the dark ages in a shed mostly, which had no acoustics at all. That's quite loud.
Well, the original version was in your gaff, right?
Was it?
Yeah, the original version. And then the second version.
I think it must be in your gaff, because I remember writing the lyrics
Oh, you're right.
sitting in a cafe while you
Cafe
went off
while
to
I
do
was
some
rowing.
rowing. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway,
Could we redo it?
but possibly, but we've got so many other things to do. I think at the very least we should upload before Christmas the full-length version of our theme, Fractured,
Oh,
which
that's a
is
banger.
very good. You're not getting the you're not getting the full experience from. Could you stop playing more
Sorry,
music? Thank you.
sorry, I forget that you can hear me.
Yes. Yeah. So anyway, the full version of Fractured is about 9 minutes, I think, and it's interesting. And also, we'll put up the closing music from season 2, which is Shadowrun, which hasn't got
Now,
lyrics. So let's not.
now, Fractured is autobiographical.
Yes, indeed,
I was an accident and fractured my pelvis.
matron.
Well done. Oh, that really hurt. That would go well.
Yes. Yeah. So anyway, we'll try and get those two up there. Only one of them has lyrics, and it's autobiographical, as Professor Joe says.
What two songs did we say? Fractured and what?
Fractured and Shadowrun, because they're the two, which is
Oh,
the
yeah.
outro music for this.
Okay. I'll
Yeah.
put them on Spotify. Put them on the Spotify's.
Well, we can, but we want them on our Wildest Skies channel to grow our Wildest Skies channel.
Yeah.
So do the full, if you're going to do it, do the full, what was it? Project Binturong's 6x6 Cicatrix version or whatever, which is the one I did the extra production and the keyboards at the end. Slowed down bits. Oh, Fractured.
Wasn't that? I thought that was the English Summer Rain mix.
No, that was something else years ago.
Oh, okay.
That was
Yes. Yeah, the 10-minute one is
Fragments. That was not Fractured.
Ah, yeah, you're right. No, Fractured is epic.
Yes.
And there are two versions, which is a good point.
Yeah, you want the one where I did the extra production on it, because that's great. And also part of that was the outro music for season 1.
C'est fini, c'est absolu.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so we'll put those up. We're completely random. Have we got any else to say about lyrics?
We want to do the ones that we also
Oh
did.
yeah, go on then. Why not?
All right, I'm going to go through them quickly. Chemical Brothers Believe.
Yeah, well, that was season 1, I think.
Okay, well, I'll skip over what I think is. Arab Strap, Your Bonus.
Yes, that was good.
That was
a lot of words again.
That was a lot of, 203 unique, scoring 4.4 on the new scoring system.
And that scored quite highly on the basic.
Scored 9 PAL score, but 4.4 on the new system. MacArthur's Park.
Yes.
Only scored 6, but 4.5 on the new system. I mean, MacArthur Park is obviously the best song ever written.
Of course it is.
Both
it has
lyrically and musically. And you got your Jackie
Levin, I think, or it could be Living.
Jackie Levitating. Yeah.
That's autobiographical. A lot of the people we picked are autobiographical.
So Arab Strap was not autobiographical, but it was talking about the sort of the voodoo stuff, right? Not quite.
Yeah, but also talking about a relationship, which may or may
and he
not
was like drawing an analogy, metaphor, simile, whichever one is right. This relationship. MacArthur Park, sort of also autobiographical, talking about a failed relationship and also a simile. MacArthur's put all the sweet green icing raining down because of the time he sat at lunch eating a cake and saw a cake that got wet in the rain.
It's more a metaphor.
Should we talk about the cigars and the Feldmans?
Oh, I think we have to, don't we?
Somebody's going to shock you, sir.
Oh dear, they got very high scores by your new.
Well, Don't You Cry by the Steven Seagal, on account of its reasonable score and low number of unique words, is actually scoring higher than the Smiths Cemetery Gate in the new score and higher than a few Sam Fender songs. So it scores 2.9 on the new scoring system. We gave it a 2. Don't You Cry.
I suppose, yeah, it's just lyrics, isn't it? I actually quite like the music to that one. So.
Yeah, I mean, they were okay. Alligator Ass, just like a teenager wrote a country song, right? Back to them, pretty much. Corey Feldman was just autobiographical about his weird perception of the world, I think.
His weird lifestyle.
Do you know what we scored him?
Was it -6?
It was -4.
Yeah. Generous.
And Corey Feldman we may have the unique count winner.
Really?
161 unique word counts for Corey Feldman.
Yes.
On average.
Oh, on average. Well, Ren's going to beat that. He's about 6,000 on average.
That's true. And a lot of words as well. 530, an average of 471 for the Feldmans.
He does put a lot of effort into his stuff. You've got to admit. Why? Is a question.
Manfred Mann is doing well.
Yeah.
Got 6.7 on the new scoring system, on account of Stranded in Iowa only being 45 words. Whereas Yoging by Richard Dawson, which appeared on which amazingly is number 2 on my YouTube end of year sum up.
Oh, I didn't know you could get one of those.
Yeah, it's I picked up yesterday. So Yoging is there. So that got hit by the word count, so it's down to 2.7. Napalm Death, of course, being up there. We scored it 0.25 for Pal's score. It's only 2 words. So it's got 12.5 on the new score. Ren is down to 1.4.
Yes.
That there weekend.
Oh, we have to mention that there weekend.
So he's at 1.0 on the new score. Because it's a 1 divided by 101 times 100. Who else did we do? Ben Folds 5, Brick, the finest song ever written, musically and lyrically, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that's kind of autobiographical, isn't it? Yeah. Jim White, Still Waters. What was all that about?
That's it's a sort of dark country story, isn't it? It's that's different, and it is very much storytelling and writing than anything autobiographical. Although he's phrased as being autobiographical, it's I did this and I did that. I'm pretty sure it's not autobiographical. Great song.
Bonnie Tyler, Total Eclipse of the Heart. What the hell was that about?
Ninjas and
well, that's a video, but I don't think that was.
Oh, it's about vampires. The song's about vampires, absolutely.
And we did Cypress Hill, our first venture into rap. Break them off some. Got only 1.5 on the new rating.
A winsome ditty, as I described.
Then we did Sun Kill Moon, Among the Leaves.
Yes, and when we did that, we weren't aware that Mr. Kozolek may or may not be an utter something or other. There are accusations about him, and we probably wouldn't have covered him if we realised that.
Let's move on from that, and let's go on to Joan Osborne, one of the greatest songs written. Yeah. I mean, that's a teenage thought, isn't it?
Yes.
That song.
Something to think about.
What if God was one of us? Yeah. It's like you wake up in the night, you've had a bottle of not really absinthe stream, it's more of like you've eaten too much cheese. And then you wake up in the night and go, oh, and you scribble something down, and that is, what if God was one of us? And then you write some absolute crap, except for the Pope may be in Rome, which is why I chose that song.
And it's the finest lyric ever written. Yes.
Who else did we do? Where's that weekend? We spoke about that week.
First series.
How to Destroy Angles.
Oh, that's a good song.
Scores high. 5 on the new scoring.
Yeah.
Hollow Talk Choir of Young Believers, 8.8.
Yeah, wow.
It's one of the highest.
Yeah. That's about vampires as well, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
They're all about
Everything is ultimately. Crash Test Dummies scored that very highly. 5 on the PAL score. 5.8 in the new scoring system.
Yeah, not many words in it.
Then Aha's Take on Me. Creepy, sick ass lyrics.
Nasty
Right?
song when you look into it.
Yeah. Toto's Africa, sort of.
That's got
The
quite
video
a
was. It's a, yeah. It's, video's not good. It's of its time. TV on the radio scores well. We got 9. We gave it a 9.
Yeah, well deserved. DLZ.
DLZ Bub.
Yes.
You're welcome. I'm here all week. And then we had the Halloween special.
Yes.
Dr. John King Swamp, Grant Lee Buffalo. Are these autobiographical?
Well, the Grant Lee Buffalo one, and the King Swamp one are presented as being so in the lyrics. Again, it's something which happens to the narrator, but obviously hopefully they're not actually autobiographical. You missed out Louis Theroux.
Yeah, I miss. Oh, the April Fools. I didn't realise that was a share. Have a look at that. I know. I just
Same
jiggled over
episode
it.
as Seagal.
Yeah, Napalm Death. Jiggle, jiggle. House score 3. Coming up with a new score of 2.8, which puts it higher than Cemetery Gates.
Puts the cat among the pigeons, this new scoring system. Which is a really stupid saying, aphorism.
Hey.
So, our ultimate conclusion is there are so many different ways to write lyrics, and while this may have given us food for thought about those things, it's probably not going to help at all with writing better lyrics.
Just do it.
Just do it. Just do it. Do what feels good. I would like it if you do the PALS workout for. Well, we haven't given it a PAL score, but the number of unique words for the Templars song,
Okay, I'll do that.
including the rant at the end.
Let me take a note.
Yeah, so that's what we've concluded. Pretty much nothing, which basically sums up the entire season and the entire show. This is what we're here for. Nothing. Nice bit of nihilism for you. So, what's in the future? Because this is the end of the epic season 2. And don't forget, we didn't miss a single week between season 1 and season 2. So we have been pumping this stuff out for 2 years solid, something like that. No, not quite. A year solid, anyway. And we need a break. We're also going to try something different. We're going to do. Shall we reveal what we're going to do?
I think we should.
Yes, we are, and this will be under a different channel, just in case we're being channel name, in case we're being done by the algorithm, which seems entirely possible to me. We are going to be doing a series on musically related true crime. And it will be completely different from this. We're not going to be the two of us sitting here chatting all the way through it. It's going to be produced and wonderful.
It is. It's going to be epic. I mean, it ticks all my boxes, right? We've got music, interesting musicians, lyrics. There's all stuff in there. Bands, plus a bit. I love a bit of a true crime and a mystery. So it's merging all our favourite worlds in one fell swoop.
And we also, everything will be redesigned for it. And we will do a season 3 probably, unless we fall out doing the true crime thing. And that already has a new design. It's much better than this one, so you'll enjoy that.
Maybe we could do a retrospective of our songs as we release them.
Could do. I think. Well, you mean PAL scores for them? We're not going to give a low PAL score for our own songs.
Well, we could do.
Seems a bit pointless.
Imprinted. What about that?
The Cure ripoff. Yes.
Yeah, it's good, that one.
Your vocal impression was very good.
I wish I could do that again. The other thing we need to do is to release our actual how to write a song guide.
Yes. Or how to write a song in the style of one band that we've covered.
Indeed. Indeed.
That being The Cult.
The Cult.
We have written a song. We have recorded video. We have well, we haven't
Of us
done
writing the song.
of us writing the song. Yes, live in the studio.
Yeah.
And we need to put it all together, and I need to actually do my part on the recorded version because I haven't bothered yet.
Hey, you need to sing it, don't you?
Yes.
I mean, it's a great song.
It's a great Cult song. Is it a great song? I don't know.
I got so yeah. How's it go?
I can't.
It's definitely a Cult song.
Yeah. So that will be coming soon. That'll probably go on this channel, Wildest Guy's channel. I don't know, but anyway, we will announce things on our growing collection of channels on each channel. So it would be nice if people could give us some feedback, because we have noticed our numbers have fallen off the cliff after Sam Fender, and we don't know why. And no one has given us some constructive criticism to say you're doing this wrong, we're not interested in this, or whatever. So there we can conveniently blame the algorithm. But if there is something we're doing wrong, we'd like to know. And I know that something is going wrong because there's a horrible hiss on the sound now. It's getting worse.
I don't hear your hiss.
It's not my fan on my computer. I don't know what it is. Anyway, so yes, we would very much appreciate some feedback. If someone could please give us some feedback. And we would like likes, and we'd like subscribes, and we'd like ringy bells, and we'd like cups of tea. Oh, it stopped. No, it started again. So if you could do that, that'd be great. And we will probably be releasing the first episode of our true crime series in January, I would suggest.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we need a break. And we're very much looking forward to doing it, and we hope you're looking forward to watching it. So thanks to everyone who has bothered to watch this series, or the first series, or both. And we will see you in January, or possibly think something might pop up before. Farewell.
Bye-bye.